This is a Blog Talk Radio conversation with Doug Pagitt on Tuesdays, joined today by the chief over at SMS Builders, Steve Schriber.
And Cocoon.
And also the creator and
metamorphical
embodiment of cocoonbuilding.com, a new way to think about the places and the ways that you live.
Unfortunately, if you go to cocoonbuilding.com, you'll end up going to SMS Builders.
For now.
Just a bookmark for now.
For now, but the evolution of it will.
Yeah. The website should be up this weekend.
Well, in fact, we've had this conversation about technology and the use of technology and the growth of technology and the evolutionary impact on technology, which frankly, to a biologist, any evolutionary change and technology development are substantively not different things, right? Mm-hmm. What's the difference between cells developing or a capacity of an organism to do something new? How does that really differ from that organism making a decision about changing something with technology? It's
right.
It's early tech. The root of technology, as we would call it. We tend to speak about technology meaning bits and data. It's
right.
Usually computer related.
Have you ever seen the movie, the latest M. Night Shyamalan?
Mm-hmm.
Suge Knight, Come Along, whatever his name is. What was it called?
The Happening?
Yeah.
Oh, I hated it.
Yeah, but the idea there is the trees created technology.
Yes.
What they did is they biologically produced a technology that then was used as a weapon to sort of protect themselves and make their species survive or whatever it is. And because it was organic, a natural, was it certified organic?
Yeah, it was. It was green.
It was green. That it somehow isn't technology.
Yeah.
But if we were to go produce a bioweapon in a lab somewhere, that's different.
Yeah, if people do it with intention.
Yeah.
Then it's something different.
Right.
I was listening to someone talking about home development and change in kitchens, and they were talking about how, like in the 90s, there was sort of that rise of the granite luxury but show kitchen, and that now people are shifting to these performance kitchens.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about this because they're saying that a number of these companies are now coming out with basically computer interfaces in the other technologies, like a computer hookup in your refrigerator. Mm-hmm. Not just where there's like things that tell you when to make ice and when to turn the temperature up or down, but an interface where you could go look up recipes, all that stuff right there on your refrigerator.
There's an LCD touchscreen right on your refrigerator. It's got full internet capability. It's a computer.
Awesome.
You could have inventory tracking of the food in the freezer and the fridge as you put it in.
So when you take it out, you punch something on there, like in a grocery store?
And it keeps track of dates, and it'll remind you when things should be expired.
You know what they need to do? Put a barcode scanner, so when you take it out, it scans it, and if it doesn't get put back in, you know that you're out.
Yeah. And it actually scans as it just passes through the threshold of the door. You don't have to actually scan it.
No. You just take it out, and it's...
I'm already dissatisfied with the current refrigerator.
If it's just touchscreen, and I have to punch in that I took that product out, ridiculous.
Dumb.
Scan it.
Archaic.
Yes. And then they keep track of it, and then you get emailed a list of the food that you're out of the next time you're going to go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Or it just sends it automatically to Simon's Delivers or one of these other companies. They keep track of it, and they just bring the stuff to your door.
Exactly.
Come on.
So a lot like the smart home option, that's a portion of the smart home option. What Cocoon's trying to bring into the market is the smart home option, but we're starting with the building structure, and we're focusing on its energy efficiency, its durability, its indoor air quality. We're focusing on the environment of the house, but within the environment of the house, one of the most important components, or I should say is equally as important, is you've got this, in this analogy of the refrigerator, you got the refrigerator, which is the hardware, the technology, the physical component. Then you also have the occupant behavior. How do you interface with it?
Right.
And it's the same thing with a house, where say you can make the house the most energy efficient house that there is, or the most green house. To which is a stupid word altogether.
Yeah.
But it means absolutely nothing if the occupant opens all the windows up in the wintertime and leaves them open.
Sure.
You're no longer energy efficient.
Right, if the kid leaves the door open.
Right.
In the winter, there goes all that energy efficiency that you spent money on.
Or your kid goes up in his bedroom and starts some sort of combustion reaction in there. It's going to bring pollutants into the house, right? So the idea that there's an occupant behavior that affects the performance of your technology, we're looking at
user error.
Right. We're looking at it from two sides. One is we have to upgrade the hardware, the existing house, the envelope, which we've talked about, and the equipment within the envelope. The other thing we have to do is we got to install into the house feedback equipment, something that gives the occupant feedback so that they know how their behavior and their actions are affecting the performance of the house.
Yeah.
And they can make educated decisions based upon the feedback they're getting. Whether the feedback is simply, and this exists today very easily, but you can buy these little amp meters that you clamp onto your main, and it tells you how much current is traveling through your electricity, through your service. And it shows up on a little computer screen on the wall, and you can set little buttons that say, oh, right now it just shows like a clicker. I'm using this many kilowatt hours of electricity. You can hit another button that converts that to dollar amounts, and you see dollars leaving your house. And there was a study done, I can't remember exactly who, I want to say it was Honeywell did the study, that showed that when you convert that feedback to dollars, people saved 10 to 12% more on their electric bill than when it was just kilowatt hours. So there's this whole movement of study of which feedback affects the occupant the most and what's the best way to deliver that. Cocoon has been talking with Chris Baker about this, this is a specialty of Chris Baker, interface and interaction with technology with the user. Because technology in its raw form is completely useless if the
it's all interface.
If the occupant interfaces, and so I've been having these conversations with Chris about how we could develop something using this existing technology, but develop the interface. Of course, the most obvious interfaces right now are, some sort of Facebook app that uses social pressure or social influence to say in competition, I've got this Facebook app that ties to my house that shows you my green score, my energy usage, and it becomes a competitive thing that drives people to want to be more competitive with their usage so that they can show people, or makes people feel a little bit more embarrassed of their performance or their lifestyle because it's like they're just using all of this energy and the whole world can see it if they choose to put that app up.
Yeah.
And then of course, you can have your iPhone send you messages on how your house is behaving or performing, and you can, I forgot to set my thermostat down, or turn off these lights, or I left a window open, or oops, somebody maybe broke in.
It could close a window?
Well, maybe. I don't see why not. Why can't we have self-closing windows?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess you just have to hook everything up, to a motor of some kind.
So we're trying to we're understanding the idea that you have to have both parts. You got to have the technology. You got to have everybody. We've already got the occupant, and then you got to have some interface.
Yeah.
And so we're focusing on upgrading the hardware, and then we're simultaneously educating the occupant. But ultimately, we're going to be developing and installing equipment that can give feedback that's helpful, useful, and actually implements a behavioral change amongst the homeowner or technology user. Because
ultimately the interface has to be integrated into everything else someone does and fundamentally simple.
Yeah.
Right? It's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah.
Is if the interface is almost nothing.
Yeah. I don't understand why we already don't have a place where I could walk into a house and the house greets me and asks me, what is it that you're going to be doing over the next couple, or even just interface with my Outlook calendar and adjust the environment of the house, the lighting, the heating, for what I'm already doing, while it's simultaneously taking samples of air quality. And I can do a comparison of the air quality in my house compared to my health, and draw conclusions that when we get certain pollen counts or we get certain pollutant or particulate intrusions into the house, that it shows sort of patterns in my behavior, my energy levels, taking blood pressure or whatever it is, and you can start tying together these